This is Jack from Buck Talk. What I got for you today is another question about savings rates and retirement. But first, I may be a financial advisor, but I'm not your financial advisor. This video is for entertainment, not advice. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. New content coming tomorrow. All right, let us take a look. How much do I need to invest at 36 years old with $25,000 in your 401k? All right, let's see if you gave me enough variables to work with here. It's not really clear to you how much you need to invest with your later start. You're 36 and you have 25k in your 401k. You didn't start it until 4 years ago when you made a career change. Started at 35k. I assume you're saying earnings. Okay. About to be making 120. You're at 85 now. Hard to project what you want to be living off when you're old, but it seems like 100k at minimum in today's money would be comfortable. That's a way higher standard of living than what you're doing today, assuming no debt and mortgage paid off before then. How much you need to invest each month? Well, good news for you is we can calculate that. Currently, your employer matches 100% up to 10% of your salary. You've been doing 5% because it's tough being a single dad. Oh man, I'm sure it's tough being a single dad, but you've been making a mistake, my friend. You should have been putting 10% in and getting that full match. That's a big whiff, buddy. It would be better to put it in, get the match, take it out, and pay penalties than to give up the match. As you're making a mistake, but it sounds like you're about to rectify it. So you're about to pay off your debts and bump it up to 10%. Good, good, good. Which would mean 20% of your earnings going into 401k. Yes, that'd be excellent. You don't want to be eating beans and rice driving around in a 20-year-old vehicle. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you. It sounds like you have some spendy tendencies. That's the kind of thing someone with spendy tendencies says, but it's a reasonable thing not to want. So I'm with you. You want to enjoy your life while you're young. The kids are a great age. You've been grinding for 5 years. You want to enjoy your life. Yeah, okay, reasonable. What should your investment strategy look like? Maybe retire at 65, maybe not. Okay, so we'll call it 30 years. Let's break out our trusty spreadsheet. Been getting a lot of use out of this thing lately. All right, what did you said you had 25,000? You did not give us what you think is a reasonable rate of return. We're going to start with 6%. Doesn't seem too crazy. And then future savings per year. So you told me that you're going to be doing 20% and it should be like 120. But right now you're doing 85. So let's split the difference. Let's say you do $20,000 a year as savings. Okay. So that'd be 20% on 100K for the next 30 years. And I'm going to assume you do, we can call it 29 years. Okay. So if that's what you do, your portfolio retirement will be something like 1.6. And in today's dollars, well, I'll explain this. So, in case you didn't watch the videos the past few days that I've been doing where we go over the 4% rule, um, one way that you can take a lump sum like 1.6 million and say, how much can I sustainably draw on this for a long period of time, like retirement, is what's called the 4% rule. There's all sorts of good critiques of it, but it's a reasonable starting point. You'd say, you could draw 4% per year, increase that by inflation each year, and not deplete it over a long period of time, like a retirement, at least not historically. Okay. It's a good rule of thumb. It's a good rule of thumb. That number for a portfolio at 1.6 million would be 5.3 per month. So divided by 25 to get 4%, and divided by 12 to get the annual draw. Then we need to account for inflation. So after we've accounted for inflation, now we're at 3,000 a month. So we're nowhere close to your 100,000 a year, right? Which would be what, 80, 8,200, 8,300 a month. Here, 100K. Yeah, 83.33. So we're nowhere near the target. Let's put this to the side so we remember what it is. There's the target. We're nowhere close to that. I suppose we should put a parallel because we want today's dollars. But we can start to change some of these assumptions and see what you need to do to get there. Now, there's some other pieces to this puzzle, right? Like, we don't know what your other income might be. We're assuming that this would cover all of your expenses and presumably that your mortgage is paid off by then. but you might have some Social Security, right? So this doesn't all need to come from your portfolio necessarily. Maybe you're getting, in today's dollars, $3,000 a month in Social Security benefits. I don't know if that's right for the pace you're on, but for the sake of argument, we could say, well, maybe we only need to head for 5,300. Okay, well then you're almost halfway there. So if that's the case, maybe you get there just by returns being a little better, right? Maybe they're not 6%, maybe they're 7. Okay, get you a little closer, 3,600. Maybe they're 8. Get you a little closer, 4,300. That's not going to be enough on its own though, and this could also be lower. It could be 5% returns, 2,500, 4% returns, 2,000. Right, this could all be true. Let's assume 6 is a good baseline. Well, what if you're doing 30,000 a year? So that would be you saving. Well, yeah, I guess if you're at 120, it wouldn't be that different from saving the 20%. You'd have to do more like 25. That would get you pretty close. Maybe 35. And by the way, we can do a little goal seek here. So Excel has a function called goal seek where we can say, hey, set this cell to, I'm going to use the 53 number for now. We'll check 83 in a minute. Boom, we got the numbers. So you would have to be saving 36,000 a year for the next 29 years to get there. Now, let's just see what that would be. So if you were making 120, that would be 12,000 a year. Well, I guess the math's actually pretty easy. It would be 12,000 a year from your employer if you're making 120 and getting a 10% match. And you would need to do the other slightly over 24,000, right? So that'd be 20% for you. So you would need to be saving a little bit more than 20% and getting your 10% employer match to get to this 5,300 number, which is the 8,300 number minus 3,000, which I just assumed came to you from Social Security. Now, if you said, I don't want to count on anything else, I want this all to be from my portfolio, well, we goal seek again. And we'd say, okay, I want to set this cell to 8333. I want to do that. Oh, and I guess I just realized you can't see the goal seek. So that's a secret. And my big head has been blocking my 8,300 number. But I think you understand what's going on. We're going to do it by changing how much you save. All right, so if you wanted to get to a point where just your portfolio alone could cover you, you would need to build up a portfolio of close to $4.5 million. And to get there, you'd have to save close to 60,000 a year, of which, gosh, probably only about 12,000 is going to come from your employer, right? So it's a big deal. One other way we can look at this is, let's assume that you get to that. Did you say 125 or 120? I'm just going to jump back to the post real quick. You said 120 plus. Okay. So let's pretend that your savings rate is 120,000 times 20%, so 24,000 a year. Go back to Excel, set it to 24,000 a year of savings. And let's say we want to know what rate of return you need to make this 3,500 equal that 8333. Right, and here I'll move this over so it's a little easier to see. There we go. Let's say we want to figure this out. Well, we can also goal seek for this. So we can say, change your rate of return. Oh, no, excuse me. Change this number to be 8333 by changing the rate of return. And we get a number. So if your returns end up being a little over 10.5%, then indeed you get to where you want to go. Now that's asking a lot over 30 years. That would mean, well, here we can do the calculation. We can see if you invested $1 today, what that implies. The future value at 10% for 29 years. You put $1 in. That $1 was turned into $19. It's certainly possible. It's actually not even that out of line with what past returns have been. But there are a lot of good reasons to think that past returns will end up being a little higher than future returns, right? Two reasons among them are that inflation could reasonably expect it to be lower going forward than it has been in the past. And also the fact that investing has become something that's more widespread and higher valuations are something that we see today versus the past. And those might also stay with us. We might not get back to lower valuations. We might not go to even higher valuations than we have today, right? So if valuations for the stock market are higher today than they were in the past, and they don't go even higher in the future, and that's where some of the gains came from, you get lower gains going forward. So it's quite a big lift to have your portfolio require 10.5% return for 29 years to get you where you want to go. I hope that exercise helped. Good luck.